Hello everybody. I wanted to come back again and do another update of a portrait I'm doing of my brother Jim. And at this point, the face area, all that you see is all wet. I just finished working on it, and bringing it to this stage. It's just got the starting of the beard, and I'm kind of happy with where it's going. Still has more work to do on it, but just finished up on the eyes and ears. It's still going to be a little more detailing here and there, but for the most part, I really like where it's going, and I've now got it to the place where I'm going to start working the background and bringing the background in. And I was already just testing the colors for the shirt, and once I get the background in, then I'll bring that on down, and it'll fade out into the shirt or into the background. The shirt will. And this is where I'm at. I wanted to touch on just a little bit of my palette. I know it's going to block the image, but I want to just kind of show what's on my palette and how I'm working it. I had 3 lights, 2 halftones, 3 darks, and my palette consists of titanium white, yellow ochre, raw sienna. There was some burnt sienna. I only used that for when I was pulling in some of the darks. Kind of felt like that really kind of pushed it that direction. Then cadmium red, French ultramarine blue, and then I have alizarin crimson, which I really didn't really use in this particular deal, but that's what's on my palette. I always put it there just in case. Then raw umber, and this is a permanent yellowish green by Rembrandt, and I really like the Rembrandt colors a lot. But again, I had three lights, from the highlight 3 lights. I had 2 halftones and I had 3 darks, and then I mixed my grays, and use them over the side. I didn't have to do a lot of that, but this is pretty much it, and this is pretty much how I set it up. And I'll work an area, mix some, whatever particular color I'm mixing. I'll get it mixed here, and then I'll wipe the area off, and I'll go back and mix again. Now that's fixing to change. I'm fixing to have a glass palette that I'm working on, that I'll be having over here, that I can move around from the different stations that I want to use. I'm not really too much of a fan of these paper palettes. Even this spot right here might look like it's oil mixed, but it's really an area of this surface where it's starting to break up, and so I don't really care for these too much. And I'm just gonna. These are a Strathmore, yeah, palette paper. You might like them. I was very displeased. I found I was catching pieces of this in my paints when I was mixing, and they ended up on my deal, and I had to mix them out. And I'm just letting you know that, just so as a warning. You might get away with it, but I'm going to tell you what, it didn't take but me mixing in this area 3 or 4 times, and it was really coming off. So Strathmore, if you're watching this, fix it, and I'll buy your palettes. But this is the last one. I'm not buying another one because of that. And I didn't mean to go negative, but anyhow, I just thought I'd mention that, because that's a real concern. If you're working on something and you don't want little bits of this paper in, making these little clumps in your mixes, and then putting it on your in your brushes, and it goes on, and all of a sudden you're like, what is that? Where'd that come from? Well, here's where it come from. It's just, and I finally got them all out of there, but it really frustrated me when I found it. And it didn't happen until I was mixing the darks, but just the same. Primarily the base flesh is made out of white, yellow ochre, and cadmium red. For this particular, oftentimes I will mix with alizarin crimson and raw sienna for a base flesh, and then white, which is really good if you're wanting to you want to go for a good dark. Alizarin crimson and raw sienna, and then French ultramarine blue, and you got an awesome black. You can really get a nice your set of dark tones from that. I like to do that. This particular time I did not. I went with the because of the skin tones. I felt like the burnt sienna for the darks. Didn't use any burnt sienna on anything else other than these darks here. I wanted to match the darks that I felt like was in the face, and with that and the blue and the raw umber, mixing that, I got some beautiful darks. And then if I felt like I needed it to be a little redder, I'd pull some red. Sometimes cases I would pull, because there's a little bit of blue in the cadmium red deep, I would pull to that. Anyhow, I'm going to give a demonstration on mixing flesh tones in the upcoming video I'm working on. It'll be how to do the entire process that you see here that I've done, and that you can see kind of progressions. I'll be putting those more pictures. I've been taking pictures as I've been going along. I've been waiting to get it a long ways, but I will be putting them up, and you'll be able to see that process there. But in a video, you're going to literally see the whole thing. There'll be no pauses, or I'm going to try not to do time lapsing or anything like that. You'll get to see the whole thing from start to finish and see the process. And I'll show you how to mix the flesh tones, how to match the flesh tones to the subject matter you see. Whatever the person, with a dark complexion, whatever, to the pink, to the yellow, to whatever the case might be, whether it's warm or cool, based on the lighting. I'll show you how to match it and mix it up and get your lights, your halftones, and your darks, and have it right there. I'm going to tell you, when you have that all ready to go, your drawing's done, you've got your pick out ready, and you're ready to lay in color. It's awesome to have exactly what you need to lay it down and put it together. And so I'll show you how to do that. And then and I'll talk to maybe a little bit about the various brushes I use at that time. I won't do it today. But I just wanted to take the time to update you, let you know, see where I'm at. I'm now at the point where I'm going to do the background, and then once the black background is done, I'll let everything dry, and then when I'm ready, I'll come back and I'll oil in, and I use a walnut oil to oil in with, and I'll oil in, and then I'll finish out the shirt and whatever details I feel like I need to do in the face. There's still some more, but I'll finish that out, and especially in the beard, some highlights just here and there, and just kind of bring it out. Detail the shirt, and the shirt will kind of like this in a way, will come down with detail and then fade out over the background. But I got to get that background in first before I do that. So that's where I'm at. And again, at markbranscumart.com, I will be putting up there the images to where I'm at right now, and I should be doing that tonight. So I'm going to be working on that, because I've kind of taken this as far as I want to go this evening. I may do a little more, but you'll just have to get that on the next video.